Myself, Mr. Sunil Datta N. Kulkarni, Associate Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Walchand Institute of Technology, Solapur. Today I am going to deliver a video session on modes of heat transfer, introduction. At the end of this video session, students will be able to state the definition of conduction, convection and radiation. That is, these are the various modes of heat transfer. And student will be able to explain Fourier law of heat conduction. The contents of this video session are definition of conduction, convection and radiation and Fourier law of heat conduction. Now let us see the introduction to heat transfer. Now we have already studied in thermodynamics the terms heat and work, which we call as path functions and which are the forms of energy in transit. But why we study heat transfer as a separate subject? Because in thermodynamics we were dealing with the only quantity of heat, whereas the heat transfer deals with the study of rate at which the exchange of heat takes place between a hot surface and a cold receiver. So in heat transfer it is not the only quantity of heat, but heat flow rate per unit time, that is the rate of heat transfer, is important. If two bodies at different temperatures are brought into thermal contact, not physical contact here, I am talking about thermal contact, so heat always flows from hot body to a cold body, and net flow is always in the direction of decreasing temperature as per the second law of thermodynamics. Heat cannot flow on itself from lower temperature to higher temperature. Naturally the heat always flows in the direction of decreasing temperature, and therefore the heat is defined as a form of energy which is in transit, that is transfer, between a hot surface and a cold receiver. The transfer of heat depends upon the temperature of the body. Higher the temperature difference, higher will be the heat transfer rate. Now let us see from this picture how we can understand the three modes of heat transfer: conduction, convection and radiation. Now in this figure we can see that there is a one pan in which we are heating a liquid, and this pan is not directly in contact with this fire. Okay, there is a gap. So whenever we burn the fire is started, this pan will receive the heat which is not in direct physical contact with fire in the form of electromagnetic waves, and this is called as the heat transfer by radiation. So even though the fan is not in physical contact, it is in thermal contact, which will absorb the thermal radiation and its temperature will increase. Now once the temperature of the pan increases, the heat is conducted through the material, and now it will start hitting the molecules of the liquid which are in the vicinity of surface, and now these molecules will become lighter, they will move up and colder molecules will take their place. So these are known as convection currents. So the convection is the heat transfer phenomena which occurs because of the motion of molecules, whereas when the pan surface get heated, okay, the heat will be also conducted to the handle if the handle is made up of metallic surface. Normally handles are covered with bakelite or plastic covers because they are insulators. So but if the heat will be conducted through these surfaces, and this is by conduction. Now let us define the conduction heat transfer. Actually conduction is the mode of heat transfer in which the heat flow through the material medium occurs without actual motion of molecules. Okay, the heat conduction occurs by molecular interaction, means the molecule with higher temperature will start vibrating, its internal energy will increase and it will colloid with neighboring molecule and it will give part of its energy. Like that the second molecule to third and so on. So in conduction the heat transfer occurs more effectively by collision of molecules which are vibrating around relatively the fixed position. So due to this one, of course in case of metals the heat transfer occurs also because of flow of free electrons, but in case of in general apart from metals, okay, the heat transfer by conduction only takes place by molecular vibrations and molecular collisions, which we call it. Now if you look at this mechanism, in which type of substance the conduction will be dominant, let us think for a while. Now in case of solids, molecules are closely spaced. Therefore, the conduction usually is dominant in solids compared to liquids and gases. In liquids and gases, molecules are placed far apart away from each other. Therefore, conduction occurs, but it occurs to a very less extent. Now let us come to the convection heat transfer. Convection is the transfer of heat from one point to another point within a fluid by mixing of hot and cold portions of the fluid. So heat transfer by convection occurs as a result of movement of fluid on a macroscopic scale. We can see the motion of molecules, okay, or motion of liquid flowing, okay, in the form of circulating current. For example, when the water boils, we see that the bubbles of water move up because they are lighter and heavier water will come down. So these circulating currents may be set up either by heat transfer process itself or due to some external agency. Depending upon this, the convection phenomena or heat transfer phenomena is classified into two categories: free or natural convection and forced convection. Now what is natural convection? In case of natural convection, the circulating currents arise from the heat transfer process itself. That is due to the density difference, which is the result of temperature difference within the fluid mass. The circulating currents are set up and the molecule motion occurs. So this mode of heat transfer is called as natural or free convection. For example, natural convection example is boiling water. The heat passes from the burner into the pot, heating the water at the bottom. Then it expands and rises because its density has become less than that of the remaining liquid, and cold water of higher density will take its place and moves down to replace it, which is causing a circular motion, which we call it as a convective current. So this is a simple example of natural convection. But whenever the circulating currents are produced by external agency, such as agitator in a reaction vessel, if the liquid is there, we can also use pump. We can use fan or blower in case of air or gases. Then whenever we cause the motion of fluid because of some external agency or aid, it is called as a forced convection. Here the fluid motion is independent of density gradient because we are supplying external energy for causing of bulk fluid motion. Now examples of forced convection are heat flow to the liquid pumped through a heated pipe. So whenever the liquid is heated and it is flowing through the pipe with the help of pump, it is the example of forced convection. For example, in case of high pressure boilers, there is a forced convection. Heat or cool a home efficiently using a fan or heater. Cooling of IC engine with a fan in radiator. So here the fan will make the air to flow over the radiator tubes, and that is a forced convection. Cooling in heat exchangers and in nuclear reactor. Now what is radiation heat transfer? Radiation refers to the transport of energy through the space by electromagnetic waves. We know that all substances at all temperature except at absolute zero continuously emit the radiations in the form of electromagnetic waves. So the radiation heat transfer depends upon the electromagnetic waves as a means of transfer of energy from source to receiver, and this mechanism of transmission is photon emission. Photons are emitted and photons carry the energy, and radiation does not require any medium. Rather, radiation is the only mechanism for heat transfer whenever the vacuum is present. The examples of radiation heat transfer are transfer of heat from sun to earth. We daily receive the heat energy from the sun in the form of electromagnetic waves. So this is in the form of radiation. Use of energy from sun in solar water heaters. use of heating of cold room by radiant electric heater. Okay, so these are the examples of radiation. Now coming to the basic law of conduction, which is called as Fourier law of conduction. Fourier has stated this law for one-dimensional heat conduction. Consider a plane wall which is made up of thermal conductivity K and having temperature gradient dt and thickness dx. So the heat flow rate in x direction is directly proportional to the area. It is also directly proportional to the temperature difference and inversely proportional to the thickness. So we can write Q is proportional to A into dt by dx, and Fourier has introduced proportionality constant as minus K. So Qx is equal to minus Ka dt by dx is called as a Fourier law, where Q is the rate of heat transfer in watts, K is thermal conductivity of material in watt per meter Kelvin. Here A is the cross-sectional area normal to the direction of heat flow, and dt by dx is called as a temperature gradient. Remember why minus sign is introduced, because temperature gradient is always negative. Heat flows in the direction of decreasing temperature. So to get the value of heat flow rate in positive with positive sign, the minus sign is introduced by Fourier. The Fourier law can also be written in differential form as Q is equal to minus K delta T, where here Q is heat flux in watt per meter square, K is thermal conductivity as we have discussed, watt per meter Kelvin, and delta T is temperature gradient in Kelvin per meter. These are the references. Thank you.